Alright everyone, today we're going to be talking about how I think quite a few creatures actually could be appearing in Malta. Now, this is more of a speculation video and not really a confirmation video. However, it does go off of evidence that we have, which, if you watched my video recently on the Becklespinax, it goes over every creature I think will appear in Malta, and that includes Atrociraptor, Suchomimus, Allosaurus, and Becklespinax. If you want the full evidence, make sure to watch that video. I've got a whole playlist of my Chaos Theory videos. Make sure to watch all of them too, you know, if you want all the Chaos Theory information. But today, we're going to be talking about how I think Pyroraptor could fight Dimetrodon in Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Now, you're probably like, wait, those guys weren't even in Malta. What are you on about? Well, actually, they were. This is thanks to Jurassic World Dominion behind the scenes stuff, and this was like a fight board, you know, a fight list showing all the dinosaurs that went into battle, and this included a lot. So I'll go over all the matches they had. You know, on the screen we can see the results. The match 1, Carnotaurus was the winner, so I assume that would be the juvenile Carnotaurus, not the adult one, because the adult one, you know, only recently made it to Malta in the Jurassic World Dominion movie, I do believe, because it was still in its cage, you know, its massive cage. And then match 2 was Baryonyx. That basically almost confirms it's juvenile, because there was no adult Baryonyx in Malta, at least that we knew of. We do know there was meant to be a Suchomimus, but it wasn't shown. That's why it's might be in Chaos Theory. But yeah, Baryonyx, the one with the robot arm, that's all we know is in Malta. So that was probably the winner of match 2. I'm guessing it could have been the fight between Allosaurus, but I don't think so, because I think this is too early on. I think all the fights that are shown on the results board are from earlier fights, you know, before the movie, and then the fights that aren't on the board are from after the movie. So we'll go match 2, Baryonyx was the winner against something. Then match 3, Triceratops is crossed out for some reason. Now, I'm not sure why it's crossed out. Maybe it won the fight, and then, you know, it bled out or something, so technically it won, but at the same time it passed on, unfortunately. So I feel that would be a juvenile Triceratops as well, just because the black market Malta isn't necessarily huge and doesn't host that big of dinosaur fights. We knew like the most major dinosaur fight they were going to have was Allosaurus versus Carnotaurus, so I feel that was their first big fight. But anyway, moving on, match 4, they had Giganotosaurus. Now, we didn't see much of Giganotosaurus in Dominion. It only appeared in a few background shots in the Bison headquarters when it was all on fire, you know, near the end of the movie. But I guess it was in Malta too, so obviously won match 4. And, you know, who knows, maybe they're beating their previous opponent from the results board. Maybe the winner goes on to the next match. So Carnotaurus maybe fought Baryonyx but lost, but still survived. Then Baryonyx, you know, fought Triceratops. Triceratops won, but Baryonyx survived, I guess. You know, maybe these aren't fights to the death necessarily. Maybe they do want to keep them alive, because obviously the dinosaurs would be expensive, although we do know for one of the fights some do die. But yes, so Giganotosaurus I would somehow beat Triceratops. I guess if it is a juvenile, it's not as experienced as an adult Giganotosaurus, so, you know, Giganotosaurus is probably kicking around with its legs and scares off the juvenile Triceratops. But then we have Dimetrodon. I could easily see Dimetrodon winning against a Giganotosaurus, to be entirely honest, because it's just, you know, it's a beast of a little creature. But yes, then for match 6, we have Pyroraptor. So, you know, if they are versing the winners, Pyroraptor could have fought Dimetrodon, which leads more into my theory of the video's thumbnail and the title. Will Dimetrodon fight Pyroraptor, you know? Could we see this in Chaos Theory, this results board list? Could we see the events before Dominion and how they fight each other, you know? Could we see all that? And then after that is Dimetrodon. I'm not sure if it beat a Pyroraptor, but then again, Dimetrodon, and I would assume it's a juvenile Dimetrodon, right? We do know those were in Dominion, but could it have beaten the Pyroraptor, right? It is pretty bulky, you know, maybe it was bulky enough to defend itself and it scared off the Pyroraptor or something. Who knows? But then again, you've got to consider Oviraptor's there, and Oviraptor's really small, so I don't know if it's really beating a Triceratops. Maybe it goes around the side, starts pecking at it, and it just scares off the Triceratops. But yeah, match 8, obviously Oviraptor's the winner. But if that's the same Oviraptor we saw in Dominion, then match 9, or actually no, I would say match 9 is Baryonyx versus Allosaurus, because that's the second fight we see. Or no, it's the first fight we see in Dominion, but it's the fight I presume would happen after Oviraptor wins its match 8, right? Because that is what we see in Dominion, you know, Baryonyx versus Allosaurus. I highly doubt they had time for all of those matches within the span of that Malta sequence, right? Because, you know, they went straight from Allosaurus versus Baryonyx to Oviraptor versus Lystrosaurus. So I would assume match 9 is the winner is Baryonyx, right? And it for its opponent Allosaurus. And then match 10 would be Oviraptor versus Lystrosaurus, the winner being Lystrosaurus, right? So there's that. And then for all we know, I'm not sure what entirely would come after, but we do know Allosaurus was meant to fight Carnotaurus, so that could be the major match 11, you know? They've had their 10 mini matches, now it's time to get the one big match done, right? So I feel that's possibly how it could go down. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that these guys could have all fought each other? Who do you think was most likely to fight each other? I feel, you know, Carnotaurus and Baryonyx and Allosaurus, they could have fought up against each other, at least the juvenile ones. Then I feel Triceratops versus Triceratops would be a pretty cool fight to see. Gallimimus, I'm not too sure who it would have fought, to be entirely honest. Maybe one of the ceratopsids. Maybe we can like put them into groups of 3 or something, you know? So we have Carnotaurus, Baryonyx, and Allosaurus. Then we have Gallimimus, Triceratops, and Triceratops. Then we can do groups of 2 because there's only 4 left, really. So we could do Dimetrodon and Pyroraptor, even Atrociraptor, but then again, those weren't in the black market, really. They were just more sent to Malta to be shipped off to somewhere else, so we wouldn't expect fights there, to be honest. And then the final grouping would be Oviraptor and Lystrosaurus. And then again, if you want to say Carnotaurus and Allosaurus as adults, because that is technically different, but they are still the same species, so there is that. But yeah, whew, do you think that could be some evidence for Pyroraptor and Dimetrodon appearing in Chaos Theory? I'm sure they will have to, right? I mean, if Atrociraptors are coming back into it after their appearance in Dominion, surely they are. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.